അടുത്ത പ്രഭാഷണം നടത്തുന്നത് പത്മഭൂഷൺ ഡോക്ടർ പ്രൊഫസർ കെ ശ്രീനാഥ് റെഡ്ഡി. A world-renowned cardiologist and epidemiologist, is the founder, past president of the Public Health Foundation of India, the world-renowned PHFI. And under his leadership, PHFI has started 5 institutes of public health all over the country. As head of the cardiology in AIIMS and also as the public health leader, epidemiologist in AIIMS, he chaired the high-level expert group on universal health coverage constituted by the Planning Commission of India from 2010 to 11. As advisor to health for state governments of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, he has authored 575 scientific publications and also written books named Make Health in India, Reaching a Billion Plus, and Pulse to Planet, Long Lifetime of Human Health. So he has received a lot of honors, of which the WHO Director General's Award and the Luther Terry Medal of the American Cancer Association are worth mentioning. He had done outstanding contributions in the areas of global tobacco control and the Queen Elizabeth Medal for Health Promotion also. He needs no introduction to the public health of India. As live as ever, we welcome you, sir, for your sharing your thoughts. Thank you.
Dignitaries on the dais, luminaries in the audience, dear friends. It's indeed a privilege for me to be part of Keraleeyam, which is celebrating the success of Kerala in so many areas of development. And in particular, in terms of health, Kerala is such an outstanding example that all of India should be celebrating Keraleeyam, and therefore I'm here to represent that part of India which is applauding Kerala for its remarkable achievements. Indeed, about 12 years ago, I was asked by somebody as to what my prescription for health in India is. Now, of course, that was mostly a facetious question, and I was not the right person to answer that. But nevertheless, I said, if all of India had the social determinants of Kerala and the health system of Tamil Nadu, then India's health would be in a great shape. Now, why did I say that? We knew that Kerala's health determinants were remarkable in terms of education, literacy, women's empowerment, engagement in the workforce, gender equity, social solidarity, many areas of, and of course, focus on reducing economic inequalities. All of these were remarkable in terms of the social determinants of health. But there were some concerns at that point in time about Kerala's health system, that it was somewhat dominated, at least in some parts or some services, by the private sector. Too many cesarean sections were being performed. So some of these concerns were being voiced. And whether primary and secondary healthcare were adequately developed and well connected to at all levels of care, those were questions that still remain to be answered. But today, I know that I can, without any hesitation, answer that the model for Kerala, whether in social determinants or in health system performance, is Kerala. So we know that Kerala has indeed developed a very efficient, equitable, and empathetic health system, which looks at health beyond healthcare, but certainly ensures that even healthcare is well delivered. A healthy society requires health assurance to all persons across the entire life course, in fact, from preconception to the ultimate end of life. It needs to promote and protect the health of society as a whole through policies and programs that have a population-wide impact, through measures to promote and protect the population as a whole, and that's public health in one sense. But it also needs to provide services for early identification of health disorders in individuals and effective implementation of interventions for restoration of health, for bringing back a person from sickness to health and functionality, and limiting disability and reducing suffering through palliative care. Now, even to set up these kind of services, you need public health, because public health has to act through policies, programs, systems, and community engagement, and therefore the continuum of public health and clinical medicine is very seamless. I'm often again asked, what is the difference between public health and clinical medicine, having traversed both the fields during my career? I say clinical medicine provides health in retail. Public health provides health in wholesale. And these are continuum. And therefore, we do require that continuum to be very well established, and Kerala has done that remarkably well. Kerala is an inspirational model for how all of these can be achieved, and the remarkable health indicators of Kerala, whether in under 5 mortality rate, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality ratio, many other classical performance indicators of the health system are so outstanding in terms of Kerala that the whole world looks to it for inspiration. But also, whenever we are talking about health, we have to talk about health equity. Equity is fundamental to public health. And there are 3 requirements of ensuring that we have a healthy society where equity is enshrined. First is universal health coverage and care. Second is multisectoral action on social, economic, environmental, and commercial determinants of health. And third is energetic engagement of a fully enabled community. And Kerala is a stellar example of how all of these 3 have been accomplished to a very high degree. Let me briefly dwell on each one of these. In terms of universal health coverage, there has been a merger of multiple schemes to create a larger risk pool of health insurance or health financing beyond what is budgetary allocation. That is the Karuna Arogya Suraksha Paddhati, which is again bringing together multiple streams of health financing to expand the risk pool. And there is adequate financial protection through this to reduce out-of-pocket expenditure and catastrophic health expenditure, though certainly more could be done. The very fact that Kerala expends a very large proportion of its overall budget on health is again an example that should inspire other states. There is also extensive service coverage. Now, one of the important elements of universal health coverage is we cannot focus only on reduction of out-of-pocket expenditure, because if the services are very scant, people will not be using the services, and therefore there will be very little out-of-pocket expenditure. So you must have both service coverage, which is extensive and adequate, and along with that you must have a reduction in out-of-pocket expenditure and catastrophic health expenditure. And that Kerala is aiming to do and is actually managing to accomplish through its various initiatives. There is extensive service coverage from primary to tertiary care with attention to vulnerable sections of the population and groups with special needs. Whether it's the people in tribal communities, coastal areas, or persons with disabilities, specific attention is being given. And there is a combination of both horizontal equity and vertical equity. Horizontal equity where services are available to everybody. Vertical attention is for additional resources and additional services to to those who have been disadvantaged previously to reduce the gaps in health equity and to ensure that those gaps do not grow. Therefore, we are seeing a very strong emphasis on primary health care-led universal health coverage, strengthening of family health centers, infrastructure, staffing, equipment, supplies, digital and transport connectivity to advanced care, transforming district and multi-speciality hospitals now. So Ardhram 1 and 2 are laying the blueprint for this kind of a very efficient, equitable, and empathetic health system. Coming to social determinants of health, I need not really talk about it. Most of the major determinants are aligned and supportive of public health objectives: education, employment, gender, environment. I know there are 5 simultaneous sessions taking place discussing very many aspects of Kerala's development. All of them could be talking about health, because indeed, whether you're talking about education or whether you're talking about other elements, you're still influencing and impacting health. Therefore, I believe this is very critical for public health to appreciate all of these determinants and dimensions. In terms of community engagement, that is a remarkable example of Kudumbasri, empowered local bodies, especially the panchayats, collective commitment across identities of social class, political affiliation, caste, and religion. When Dr. Sundaraman and I were part of a team that visited at the behest of the Kerala government to look at how health system can be strengthened, and particularly primary care, that was some time ago, we were greatly impressed and inspired by the fact that there was such an example of social solidarity, irrespective of political affiliation, irrespective of caste, irrespective of religion. Everybody wanted the family health centers to be strengthened. They wanted the health services to be well connected, and they were ready to invest their resources in it. And having achieved remarkable success in maternal and child health, Kerala is now showing how to respond to advancing demographic and developmental transitions with an aging population and rising burden of non-communicable diseases. Its strength in traditional systems of health promotion and healing, especially Ayurveda and yoga, should help it to promote population health and provide pathways for restoration of health in persons who already have disorders. Therefore, when we are talking about One Health, we are not only talking about animal health, human health, and environmental health being united, but different systems of medicine also being united into that One Health platform. Kerala has also demonstrated how best to respond to public health emergencies, be it Nipah, extreme weather events like floods, or COVID-19. And what was the secret of its success? Strong political commitment and leadership, efficient administration closely aligned across multiple ministries, departments, and agencies, high-quality technical expertise in public health and clinical services, extensive engagement of civil society organizations and community members provided the recipe for resilience, rapid response, and remarkable results. These public health emergencies also saw a remarkable display of social solidarity. We saw a very engaged citizenry willing to help each other at all times of need. The citizenry was united in its response and support for each other. Again, a great example of social cohesion in these divisive times of discordant social agendas that we see in the country today. It is especially commendable that routine services of the health system did not suffer during the response to these public health emergencies. Indeed, an efficient, equitable, and empathetic health system is essential even in the steady state prior to any emergency if we have to mount a swift, strong, and sustained response to an emergency when it arrives. Kerala's health system stood the test posed by the emergencies with flying colors. I know we have a mixed system that has evolved by default and not by design. But what we need in these circumstances is a unification of that health system of the different streams. We need a responsive public sector which recognizes the citizens' needs and responds promptly and efficiently. a responsible private sector which can be brought to ally with the public sector, but with clearly defined terms of deliverables and accountability. A resourceful voluntary sector which can play a great role in providing services, doing community monitoring, and ensuring that all the services are properly delivered. And Kerala provides that kind of an example. To conclude, there are areas where we can improve. Reaching the unreached and serving the underserved, tribal and remote populations, expanding the range of services to dental care, and NCDs are going to be the big challenge. Kerala has already demonstrated how it can actually handle maternal and child health. Now it can show the world how to handle NCDs in such an efficient manner that we can telescope the transition and ensure that even aging need not be frail and feeble, can be fit and functional, and that disability due to NCDs is deferred to a much later stage in life with not just long life expectancy, but long, healthy life expectancy. So I believe this is where Kerala can provide the world great models of healthcare. And there are other areas of work that attract your attention: reducing air pollution, mental health, improving road safety, climate smart and climate resilient health systems. And of course, for this you need multidisciplinary research as well. And therefore, there should be greater investments in multidisciplinary research which can provide policy, because policy has to be both evidence-informed, it has to have scientific credibility, it has to have financial feasibility, it has to have operational sustainability and political viability. And this requires multidisciplinary research and investments therein. Thank you.